English 3, Quarter 1, Week 4, Day 1. Objectives: identify grade level appropriate high-frequency words and use content-specific words in mathematics. Note important details in the text. Gather textual clues to support predicted outcomes. Develop logical prediction based on information in the text and use own words in retelling events in the assigned text. Good day, kids! How are you today? We will be learning new things this week, new words and new ideas about English. Before we move to this week's topic, let us first recall what we talked about last week. Can you give me some of the reason why he got interested in painting? And what do you call events that cause other events? You can pause the video while answering. What do you call the outcomes of certain events? Very good. It seems like you still remember our discussion last week. At this point, let us do an activity that will make us ready for today's lesson. Today, we will read a text about Maria and how she studied for her math class. You have to listen carefully because I will be asking you to share your ideas about the selection later. Before we start reading the selection, let us first study some words. You will have to listen to the clues given and then rearrange the letters to form a new word being described. This is a short test given after discussing a lesson. What do you think is this jumbled letter or jumbled word? That's right, it is quiz. What about this? This is an expression that you do when you are happy. That's right. Smile. What about this? This is a space between two lines that meet at a point. Correct. That is angle. What about this? This is an answer that you give to a particular question when you do not have all the facts and you are not sure whether you are correct or not. Do you have any idea what is this word? That's right. That is guess. What about this word? This is another word for guess. Correct. That is predict. Once the words have been correctly guessed, write them on the board and read them aloud twice and ask the students or your learners to repeat after you. Or if you are a learner who's listening now, just repeat the question or just repeat the words aloud twice. Let's go. Good job on unlocking all those words. The knowledge you gained will be useful in understanding our story for today. Are you now ready to listen? Please follow as I read aloud each paragraph with appropriate tone, intonation, volume, and speed. Maria and Her Math Class by Ferdinand Kevin A. Dumalay. Maria had an idea, fun and bright. She wanted to guess and get it right. Her math quiz was coming near, so she practiced without fear. She drew two lines, long and neat, and predicted, will they ever meet? If they're parallel, they'll never touch. Side by side, but not too much. Study hard, her teacher said. Practice your lines before you head to bed. Do your best, said Mom with a smile. Learning takes work, but it's worth the while. She drew 2 lines, long and neat, and predicted, will they ever meet? If they're parallel, they'll never touch side by side, but not too much. If they're perpendicular, they make a T. A right angle crossing, just wait and see. She drew more lines and made a guess, then checked. If they intersect, they cross just so, making angles some high, some low. Maria smiled. Her guesses were true. She loved warning. How about you? The next day, she took her test. She tried her hardest and did her best. When she got her paper back, oh my! She smiled with shiny eyes. What a great try! Now let's go to developing understanding of the key idea system, or STEM. What was Maria preparing for? That's right, for her math quiz. Number 2, what advice did Maria teacher give her? That's right. Her teacher told her to study hard. What did Maria's mother tell her to do? Could you still remember? Very good, that's right. Her mother told her to do her best. What did Maria do to practice for her quiz? She practiced and practiced the quiz until she was ready. Okay, Number 5. What happens to the parallel lines? Can you still remember? I want you to share your answer. You can pause the video to give your answer. How do perpendicular lines look? Could you still remember? I want you to share your answer based on what you've learned and heard or read earlier. What does it mean when lines intersect? Based on what you've read earlier, please share your answer again. Pause the video to do so. Why is it important to practice before a quiz? Please share your answer with your classmate or to your teacher. Just pause the video. Let us now focus on the ending of the story. The author did not reveal to us the results of the quiz. What do you think happened in the end? Pause the video to give your answer. And just proceed after answering. How did you arrive at those conclusions? Can you give me some information from the selection that will support your guesses? Great job, kids! You've done very well. What we did is an example of predicting an outcome or an ending. This is done by noting important information in the text called clues, and by trying to connect them to predict something. For example, if you see that there are dark clouds outside, you can predict that it will rain soon. Do you understand? If your friend eats too much chocolate, what do you think will happen to your friend? Can you try to predict what will happen? You can pause the video while answering. Your classmate is always absent, and if present, he or she is noisy, not listening, and sleeping. What do you think will happen to your grades? Pause the video to answer. Reflect and complete these statements. Today I learned about you can provide your answer. And I also learned that in making predictions, you can pause the video while answering. Evaluating learning. Ask the students to retell the story by completing the 5-finger retell worksheet. Who refers to the characters. What refers to the problem. Where refers to the setting. When refers to the sequence of event. And why refers to the resolution. Tell them to observe proper capitalization and punctuation mark. If you are a learner or student listening now, do this on a piece of paper or to your notebook. Try to retell the story, or you can rewrite instead the story, and make sure to follow or complete the 5-finger retell, which is the who, what, where, when, and why. Thank you for listening for our day 1. Let's proceed to day 2. English 3, Quarter 1, Week 4, Day 2. Here are the objectives. You can pause the video to read the objectives. Good day, kids! How are you today? I hope everyone is doing well. I'm happy to see you today, and I hope you are all well. Let us all recall what we discussed yesterday. What is the name of the student in our story yesterday? Do you still remember her name? Or earlier? That's right. We talked about Maria, who prepared for her math class, and how others cheer her on to succeed in learning the subject. If you're a teacher listening now, have a brief recap. If you're a learner, try to remember what happened to the character Maria yesterday, how she got a good score as your prediction. Today, we will read again the text we had yesterday. You have to listen carefully because I will be asking you to share your ideas about the selection. We will also find out how to give commands. For the first reading, do not speak, just listen. For the second reading, I will pronounce each word and you will repeat after me. For the third reading, you will read the words independently. Keep. Keep. Everybody say, keep. Try. Try. Everybody read. Try. Do. Do. Everybody read. Do. Bring. Bring. Everybody read. Bring. Shall. Shall. Everybody read. Shall. Much. Much. Everybody read. Much. Made. Made. Everybody read. Made. These are some of the words that we use in constructing sentences. This time, I will read the words aloud and you will repeat after me. Study hard. You say, practice your lines before you head to bed. Your turn. Do your best. Your turn. These were the lines said by Maria's teacher and her mother to encourage her for her math quiz. These are examples of commands. A command usually starts with a verb, an action word, followed by additional information. Could be an extra information about the action or the object of the action, and ends with a period or exclamation mark. In the given examples, can you identify the verbs? For number 1, study hard. Number 2, practice your lines before you head to bed. Number 3, do your best. Can you identify the verbs? Remember, we will use the base form of the verb whenever we express commands. Number 1, study hard. Practice your lines before you head to bed and do your best. So, the verbs here are the study, practice, and do. These are the verb. But where is the subject? Have you observed? Let me go back to the line, or the first line, or the previous line. We have here study hard. Practice your lines before you head to bed. Do your best. For this, where is the subject? The subject part of a command is always you, but it is not anymore written or said. The subject part of command is always you. Again, it is not anymore written or said. So I have said it twice, so it doesn't mean that you is always written. So it's part of the command already. It is implied. It is an invisible subject. So for the subject in these examples, all of those is implied, and it is an invisible subject as we call them. Example, study well. In this sentence, the verb is study. The remaining word is just an additional information about the verb. It tells us how the action should be done. So how to study? Well. Study well. So well is the additional information. Second example, get the pen. In this sentence, the verb is get. However, the pen is no longer an additional information. It is an object that receives the action, get. So pen is the receiver of the action. To put it simply, if it answers the question what, it is an object. Let us try, what should you get? The pen. So the pen is an object of the sentence. Identify the verb in the sentence. Sit quietly. What is the verb in the sentence? Does it have any extra information about the verb, or does it have an object? You can pause the video if you want to answer. The answer, or the correct answer, is the verb is the sit. You're actually right. And quietly is an additional information about how action should be done. So how to sit? Sit quietly. Close the door. What is the verb? And does it have any extra information about the verb, or does it have an object? Pause the video while answering or checking or examining the sentence. That's right, the verb is close, and the door is an object because it receives the action and it answers the question, what should you close? So, the door there is the object. Pass the pencil. What is the verb? And does it have extra information about the verb, or does it have an object? The verb is pass, and the pencil is an object because it receives the action and answers the question, what should you pass? It's the pencil. So the pencil is an object. Very good, kids. You've done very well. You deserve a big round of applause. Again, commands are told to instruct someone to do something or to give an order. It is also called an imperative sentence. Again, when we say imperative sentence, this is something that gives you command or instructs someone to do something or to give an order. That is imperative sentence. This time, you will be rearranging the words for the commands. I want you to remember the things we discussed about forming imperative sentences. Are you ready? Write your answer on a clean sheet of paper and make sure to observe proper capitalization and punctuation marks. Rearrange the word commands from 1 to 5. Pause the video to answer and just proceed or play it again once you're done. These are the answer keys. So for number 1, it should be jump over the rope. Number 2, write your name. Number 3, keep calm. Number 4, bring your notebook. Number 5, call Maria. Reflect and complete the statements. Today I'll learn about just complete the statement. You can pause the video while doing so. If your teacher asks you to write it on a notebook, then please do so. Assignment. Write 5 commands that you usually hear from your teachers and 5 commands that you hear from your parents or guardians. Observe proper capitalization and punctuation. You can pause the video to copy the assignment. Day 3. Here are the objectives. You can pause the video to read the objectives. Good day, kids. How are you today? By the way, have you answered your assignment last time? Very good. Now it's great to see you all today. I hope you all are doing well. Let us recall what we discussed yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about making conclusions. We realized that it is important to look for supporting details before we present any idea. Now, we will be reading another interesting text. Try to observe and look at the pictures. What materials are these objects made of? Have you observed? Try to look at the picture one by one. If you have any answer, you can share it to your classmates or to your teacher. Very good. These objects are made of clay. Do you like playing with clay? I know you like playing with clay. Do you know that you can make a lot of things from it? Today, we are going to read a poem about powerful beings and how they created the world. As we read, we will also try to guess outcomes based on the given events. Before we begin reading the selection, let us first learn new words that can help us understand the poem. Rearrange the letters to form the word I am describing. Listen carefully to the clues. Are you ready? This is the jumbled letter. This means powerful. Do you have an idea? That's right. Strong is the word. Next clue. This means sad. Can you rearrange the letters to form a word? That's right, lonely. This means huge. Very good, that's right. Big is the word. This means with little or no light. Great! That is dark. What about this? This means shining. Can you rearrange the letters? Perfect. That's right. It is bright. Now, let us read the words again and repeat after me. Strong. Your turn. Lonely. Your turn. Big. Your turn. Dark. Your turn. Bright. Your turn. These words are examples of describing words. We use them to provide more information about places, people, or things. These words can be used to describe their colors, sizes, and other qualities. You will encounter these words in the selections that we are going to read. Please follow as you read aloud each paragraph with appropriate tone, intonation, volume, and speed. Listen carefully as we read the poem. Try to put a circle to the describing words that you will see, or you can take note to all the describing words that we would be able to see later on. Do your best. The Birth of the World by Ferdinand Kevin A. Dumala. At first, no world was there, but Allah wanted to make it fair. It was lonely and dark, so He created things with all His might. Two strong hands shaped the land and the seas, forming mountains, rivers, home to plants and animals we can now see. Bright stars lit up the night. Sun and moon shone big and bright. The world will no longer be lonely and dark. Strong winds blew. The seas arose. A wave would dance and softly flow. Big trees grew forming parallel lines, home for birds that soared the sky. Some eggs hatched, life came anew. Creature big and small, then swam and flew. Several islands rose from the sea, our home for all in harmony. A strong man and a beautiful woman stood in a line, born from bamboo, good and kind. From the people were born, the world was filled, no longer forlorn. Tribes wrote song so grand, but Allah smiled, His emotion felt across the land. Who is Bathala? What was the world like in the beginning according to the poem? How did Bathala created the land and seas? What natural elements were formed to light up the world? You can pause the video while giving or writing your answer. What do you mean by parallel? Use it in a sentence. Where did the first man and woman come from, according to the poem? And what do you think Bathala felt after creating all those things? Again, you can pause the video while giving or writing your answer. Did you like the story? At this point, let us see if you really understand the story that we read. I will now pair you up with your classmates. You will answer the following questions and be ready to share your ideas. If you are watching this alone, then you can do this alone. What do you think will happen after Bathala made the land and seas? What do you think will happen after Bathala made the sun, the moon, and the stars? Again, don't forget to pause the video while giving your answer. What do you think will happen after the eggs hatched? You can pause the video, you can take down the question, or take note of the question and pause it while giving your answer. But where is the subject? What you did is pretending outcomes. This means that you try to look for information that serves as clues, and based on the clues, you think you will happen. What you did is predicting outcomes. This means that you try to look for information that serves as clues, and based on the clues, you think of what will happen next. Today I learned about, and I also learned that we can describe things based on their. You can pause the video while completing the statement. Create a simple story map with sections used to describing words used in the selection. Simple story map. We have the beginning. What was the world like before? You can answer this question as your guide in creating the beginning. And in the middle, what did Bathala create? And in the end, what happened to the people to Bathala? Then for the future, what could happen next to the world created by Bathala? If people continue telling the story of the world's creation, what do you think will happen? Okay, so predict what will happen next and complete the future section. So you can pause this video while answering, so you will have a guide. Very good. Guess you have done very well, good, and great job. Thank you so much for listening, and let's go to day 3. Day 4. You can pause the video to read the objectives. Good morning, dear learners. How are you today? I am happy to see you today. I hope you are all well. Let us recall what we discussed yesterday. Who was the Filipino god mentioned in our poem yesterday? What were the things he created? Pause the video to answer. We talked about the origin story of the world. The poem narrated how all things came to being. We also discussed how we can use clues or informations from the text to predict outcomes. Have a brief recap. If you are a teacher listening now or using this video, you can have a brief recap of what happened when Bathala created the world. Or if you're a learner, you can refer to the previous video to read or watch again the story. Today, we will read again the text we had yesterday. You have to listen carefully because I will be asking you to share your ideas about the selection. But first, let us recall the 7 basic words assigned for this week. And can you give me one? Okay, do you still remember? Let us read the sentence aloud, putting emphasis on the sight words. We have keep. Keep. You read? Keep. I will keep my room clean. Example sentence. Try. Try. Your turn. Try. Very good. I will try to finish my homework. Example sentence using the word try. Do. Do. Your turn. Do. What do you want to play? That's an example of sentence using the word do. Bring. Bring. Your turn. Together. Bring. Please bring your book to school. Sentence using the word bring. Shall. Shall. Your turn. Together. Shall. Shall we go to the park? Example sentence of using the word shall. Much. Much. Your turn. Together. Much. I love my family very much. Example sentence using the word much. Made. Made. My father made a beautiful card for my mother. Again, these are some of the words in English that we often hear or read. That is why it is important to be familiar with them. Please follow as you read aloud each paragraph with appropriate tone, intonation, volume, and speed. This time, we will now recall some of the words used in the selection and pay attention to the highlighted words. We will try to use those words in your own sentences. The birth of the world. At first, no world was there, but Allah wanted to make it fair. It was lonely and dark, so He created things with all His might. Two strong hands shaped the land and the seas, forming mountains, rivers, home to plant and animals we can now see. Bright stars lit up the night. Sun and moon shone big and bright. The world will no longer be lonely and dark. Strong winds blew, the seas around us. Waves would dance and softly flow. Big trees grew, forming parallel lines, home for birds that soared the sky. Some eggs hatched, life came anew. Creature big and small, then swam and flew. Several islands rose from the sea, a home for all in harmony. A strong man and beautiful woman stood in a line, born from bamboo, good and kind. From them, people were born. The world was filled, no longer forlorn. Tribes wrote songs so grand, but Allah smiled, His emotion felt across the land. Read the lines taken from the text. Number 1, it was lonely and dark. Number 2, several islands rose from the sea. Number 3, two strong hands shaped the land and the seas, forming mountains and rivers. Number 4, a strong man and a beautiful woman stood in line. Number 5, home to plants and animals we can now see. At this point, we are now going to use them in sentences to show that we really know their meaning. Write one sentence for each word. We have the several, lonely, rivers, woman, animals. You can pause the video while writing your sentences and proceed if you're done. If you're a teacher, call some learners to share their answers in the class. Well done! You have written very good sentences. This clearly shows that you understand how describing words work. At this point, you are going to retell the events in the poem, The Birth of the World. In at least 5 sentences, you have to use the 5 words we just studied. Write your paragraph on a clean sheet of paper and always observe proper capitalization and punctuations in all your sentences. You can pause the video while doing or while answering. Why do you think Bathala created human being last? Can you tell me any idea? Pause the video to answer. What do you think is the role of the human being in this world? Pause the video to answer. Today, I learned about... Pause the video to complete the selection or to complete the saying. For your assignment, using any of the vocabulary words introduced, retell any origin story or any community story that you know. Write a minimum of 4 sentences and use it on your own words. Thank you.